Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful morning start to your day, or whatever time of day that you happen to catch this. Message from Spirit. Seeker of branches. The Magician underneath. So it looks like we'll be getting some messages on some action points we can take moving forward, on how to move forward, on something that we've been trying to create for a while. Magician tells me that we've been working on this, bringing it in. And Camel says that we should see some pretty clear signs, roadmaps on where to go so that we can take some action steps forward. So that's exciting. Because if you're like me, you've been feeling probably like, I want more. Give me some more. Let's see what else. Knight of Wands, Five of Swords, Two of Swords, Ten of Swords underneath. I mean, that's literally the Knight of Wands twice there. And the Knight of Wands is looking at the other Knight of Wands. So this is most likely just, don't stagnate yourself. Don't stop yourself from doing something. That's what I'm getting here. That's a pretty clear message. Especially something specific. There's an action today that will most likely have you like not knowing which way to go. But that card represents, or is coming through as that third place solution, not to have to go left or right. There's another way. I feel like this is going to be a pretty quick message, actually. King. The elements underneath. So that really points back to that Magician card. And then King. Just off the bat, that feels like that Emperor energy. So it's like being able to really take action on some things. There's something specific coming through. They're both holding onto a branch for like dear life, ready to take action on this thing. So there's something specific coming through that Source wants you to pay attention to and take action on when it does, because it's important. It's an important action step to move things forward in a more visible way, because you probably have felt stuck in a spot for a while, like between two worlds almost, and it could be connected to some sort of uncomfortable situation. We can just leave it at that with the Five of Swords there. Most likely like a tiff or something with other people, or just a situation that just didn't feel like anybody really won anything, just was uncomfortable, and then it was over. Maybe there's no closure in that situation as well. That's probably why it's coming up here. But this action step today, this thing that's being called to really pay attention to, it's gonna move. It's gonna help move us out of the stagnation point, or feeling like we're stuck in a single spot, and that's exciting. That means we'll be able to get some traction going in something important, something we've been bringing down from the ethers. So let's see. Okay, so that fish right away comes up with, especially with the Knight of Wands, conserve your resources even though things seem bountiful. If you give in to greed and don't plan accordingly, you will come up short very soon. Not to take hasty actions on things that could cause this sort of energy. Like if it's not like if one of those if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, because no one's gonna win. So it's best to just kind of leave whatever that situation, just kind of leave it. Yeah, just leave it up to source at this point, because it's being handled, and if any more interference or interaction with the problem persists, it's gonna cause more stagnation, and it'll just drain energy where it's needed right now. With those two Knights, it's needed for an action step, but it's most likely some sort of annoyance will keep coming in today with that 5, to try to stop you from taking the right actions. So don't allow yourself to get stagnated in one spot, but see that there's a third place solution, a way to get around the problem without having it interfere with whatever is coming in to take action on, like the positive things to take action on, the things that feel right for your soul to move on. Because there's especially one thing in particular that's going to really stand out today to want to take action on, and you're going to want the energy to be able to do that, and this other stuff will most likely just distract you from doing that, and stop you from moving forward. So it's just very pestilent, annoying. Yeah, it's saying now might not be the time to go against the flow. Don't waste time and energy. So instead of master your space. Yeah, so that just kind of clarifies with that fish underneath the deck. And then the honeybee came up for, I didn't actually show the fish. This fish was underneath the deck there. My hand is in the way. I've got too many things. Honeybee was the card that came out. We tend to separate our lives into work and play, important and frivolous things. Just as the honeybee flies from flower to flower, pollinating all the way, we can find joy in the work we do and meaning in the colors and artistry of life. Communication is essential to harmony within a family or community. It is not upon one person to make everything work, but all of the individuals combined. That's the honeybee is talking about. This is definitely, especially since it's right under it's directly connected to this 5 of Swords issue. Whatever that it's most likely with a tiff between the family or friends or somebody close, even co-workers, just people that you're really close with, and it's causing stagnation on a project that could be moving a lot faster. When I split the deck, it was 4 of shells. So it's causing stagnation in a spot where some sort of material wealth is needed to progress it, almost, it feels like, with that 4 of Pentacles coming through, or 4 of shells. 4 shells. No, it's more of a 4 shells coming out of, that's probably why it's coming out of one shell, being able to express and not feel vulnerable to, because the crab is out of the shell in this picture actually, and shells pertaining to the heart and the emotional space really connects to feeling vulnerable and just expressing anyway, even when there's your essence is exposed in that way, right? truncated branches when I split again. So yeah, that still talks about there's this thing, this tiff that's going on with the Five of Swords is really causing a block in the flow of being able to move this project or manifestation forward faster than it is. It could be moving a lot faster, especially with this honeybee coming in. They move fast, you know, but they work together, so that the whole hive is created in a way that's cohesive, and everything has a purpose. I want to get a little bit on this king because I feel like that's also really important here. Oh. I found the elements one, so let me read that. I'm just going to read when the card is drawn. It's a sign to spend more time in nature, plan a picnic with friends, or go on a hike. The benefits of being in nature are numerous and have been scientifically proven to improve mental health. Yeah, that's why I didn't really feel connected to that. Like, it just felt like one of those, yes, that feels like I put the deck down. Normally I put it up, so it felt like it was like a just one of those good food for thoughts. You should definitely, if not getting outside, get outside more, connect with nature more. It'll help with this this feeling of stuckness, of uncomfortable tension. Where is the king? Okay, 23. 23. Appears, Oberon is a legendary figure who appears in multiple instances of medieval lore, but it was Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream that turned him into a household name. King Oberon rules over the fairy realm with generosity and a sense of humor, but he is also known to be selfish and even cruel, using his power and status at times to seek his own end, regardless of how it affects others. Okay. In Shakespeare's play, Oberon casts a spell on his own wife, the fairy queen Titania, to trick her into handing over a boy who he wishes to make his servant. The spell makes his wife fall in love with a donkey's head. That is interesting. Bizarre. When this card is drawn, have an honest check-in with yourself about the role that authority has in your life. Whether you're the authority or someone else's, do you feel happy with the hierarchical structure that is in place? That feels very significant. That's definitely pointing to this tiff that keeps coming back. It's saying take a higher view of where we played a role in this energy, or where we're even still creating a role in this energy. Where are we feeding this disarray in within the community or family or friend unit with that honeybee? It's talking about and that makes sense. You could be, it's actually asking more to like fall in line at this time, especially with that fish. It's saying don't go against the grain right now. Fall in line with what's going on. Go with the flow, because it's causing action or inaction or action in the wrong directions. So if it feels like, if you're getting this feeling of like, I don't know which way to go, don't make a choice at all at this time. If you're getting a hard yes or a hard no, follow those. But it's saying if you're feeling like this period of not knowing, sit in that and allow it to just pass, even, um, because it's drawing it's trying to draw your attention and focus into something a lot more uh, grounded, or get you grounded, especially with that the elements coming up. Getting grounded, going outside, sticking your feet on the ground with no shoes, and really soaking in that energy to ground and kind of just allow yourself to go with the flow of life. So anything that's just your daily routines, whatever you normally are doing, try not to sway too far from any direction that's pretty mundane. It's very important to do so at this time, because it'll give you a higher viewpoint of where you are expending energy in a way that's not conducive to moving forward, and it'll give you a higher vantage point to create or take action in ways that are gonna nurture what you're creating. This When I lifted up the deck, this one came and stuck out, um, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So really focusing, nurturing something that you've been growing. Again, that branch that these two knights are focused on. It's going to help move something very important that you've been trying to create forward. With that Magician that was under the deck before. That Four of Shells came back out. The Crab, so again, vulnerability, expression of, and being okay with being vulnerable while expressing. Hummingbird, Six of Branches, something that's actually gonna really help create more flow and more success in all things. It's really drawing back to that. To that movement of things. Six, it's really moving stuff, so there's a lot of movement, and it's trying to open up the floodgate here, but it's within being vulnerable and exposed in the naked rawness of whatever the situation brings up with that five. Most likely within the family or within a co-worker unit or a friend unit, something like that. It's going to bring closure in and really bring the whole situation to a nice neat closure. So it seems like there's a situation that needs to be talked about that isn't at this point. It's just kind of floating in the air, and it needs to be talked about so that it can ground and allow for steady movement forward from all angles, because right now there's a missing pieces because not everybody's working in the same flow. That's what it feels like. And with the Ace of Branches underneath the deck, it's pointing back to that branch that these two knights are really trying to hold on to. There's something trying desperately to be created right now, like right now, with that Magician and this Ace coming through and the all-encompassing Whale. Like, it's saying that there's something right now that wants to move. So really opening up that flow, really going with the flow and opening, it opens up the flow. Going with the flow will open up the flow. And with the Hummingbird, it's going to go fast. I split the deck before on that Eight of Wands, and that's Jaguar energy, so that's fast energy. It feels like a really good place to stop. So I hope that helps, but that's really exciting. It feels like there's a lot of there's something really exciting coming in, so feel free to leave that down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you all are bringing in and doing. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next one.